when you're a player at this level, when you were there, what's the draft experience like, Bucky? What do you remember about going through it?
You know, it's funny because when you look back, like the stress that you lived through at that point, like it seems like it's so big and you wonder what's happening. But then when you are able to step away from the game, you have a greater appreciation for being able to really live out a dream. You know, when you're a kid, everyone is running around with a ball in their hand talking about, oh, I'm going to go to the NFL. But to actually hear your name called and to see it go across the scroll and to then join organizations and play, you know, the game that you dream of, like, it doesn't happen. And so it's a rare thing. And
Did you get a phone call? The technology has changed. The layout of the draft has changed. But what happened?
No, so way back then in 1994, yeah, you would get a phone call. At the time, there were only 2 days of the draft, and it was on ESPN. And I remember the first 3 rounds, 1 through 3, were on a Sunday. Then Monday was 4 through 7. And I remember getting the phone call because the draft was, man, it may have started at like 3 or 4, but I think the call came at like 10 something at night from the Buffalo Bills. But to hear that phone call, to have the phone call, to talk to the GM and the head coach, and to just kind of realize that you're going to have an opportunity to play in the National Football League is life-changing. It's one of the—
Were you nervous, Bucky? I mean, you guys are all confident, but were you nervous?
Yeah, 100%. You're super nervous because you don't control it. It's different than going from high school to college where you get to pick where you're going. This is one where you're hoping that someone picks you. And so you do feel helpless a bit, wondering where you're going to go. And
you've stayed around football your entire life. You're a Super Bowl champion as a Green Bay Packer, Bucky. What does that do? What does the door opener credibility does that provide?
I would say this. I would say that my time in Green Bay really shaped my perspective on football. When you walk in the building and the players and coaches talk about how things have always been done, how it was done in the 60s and 70s when Lombardi was there, and how it is always about the we, not the me, those things really, really happen. And I think when you see that and you have the expectation of winning, and I remember back in those mid-90s teams when Brett Favre won 3 straight MVPs, but the expectation was not only to win, but the way in which we won. Standards that were set and standards that are continuing to be upheld. It means something because it's not like that in every franchise.